Hello and welcome back to Starfish Point. My name is Nedman, I'm the founder of Nedman Industries, and I am playing on my very own custom map called Starfish Point. In this series, it's quite a long Let's Play now actually. I think we're on episode 48, this might be 48. We're building this wonderful city. We're just taking it slow, taking our time, just to kind of build the city of our dreams. Nothing's off limits, we kind of just build and build and build, and when I want to build, I build some more. And it's really good fun. We tried to make it look nice. Some of it doesn't look so nice, but other parts do look really good. So, it's a bit hit and miss. We're very happy with the majority of it though. But as you can see, it's quite a large city now, and there's a lot of different details and themes and stuff like that. So if you haven't seen how we got here, it's probably worth going back and having a little look. And like always, if you enjoy my videos or if you're an avid watcher of the series, then drop a comment, let me know what you think, let me know if you like it. You can hype the video, you can become a channel member to get early access to the videos, all of that good stuff. It just helps me out that little bit more, so I appreciate you all. But in this video, a lot of you are probably going to be like, finally, but we're going to finish the downtown sort of area. In the last few videos we worked on the area you can see below, which is kind of our marina with the Mediterranean sort of theme by the marina, which it does look really nice, I must admit, the actual Mediterranean themed part of it. But we need to finish off the downtown and make it look a little bit more complete. So just to recap the Mediterranean marina, this is it. It looks really cool. We've got the ferries active now and moving around, but it just looks fantastic for that. If you were coming in here, let's say you're coming in here on a boat and you see this, doesn't that look fantastic? All of the same sort of style buildings, just looks really good. And then you've got the luxury plaza sort of square here, looking out onto the water as well. It's just a nice place to be, in my opinion. I think it's lovely. I think we've done pretty well with that, not gonna lie to you. I think it's quite a nice looking area, I must say. And then down this end as well, of course, you were coming in via this boat on the ferry. This is kind of what you'd see. So again, nice straight road with our bikes. Anybody using these bikes yet? They weren't in the last episode. There's no bikes on the bike rack. Oh, there's one. There is a bike. There we are. Singular bike, but nobody with it. Probably abandoned or will be stolen shortly. But yes, this area is really nice. I like the way it turned out. Yeah, pretty good. So the focus of today's video will be this downtown area, which in my opinion it does look pretty good. I'm kind of happy with the way that it looks at the moment. I think it's quite a nice and detailed area. And the last time we messed around with downtown, we kind of started developing this area out the back here with this new building that was new at the time of recording that video, and it looks pretty cool. Yeah, it looks nice. It's a nice looking downtown. What I will say is when the skyscrapers content creator pack comes out on the 3rd of December, I might be changing some of these buildings because I'm super excited for that. I think it's going to look fantastic. Right, first things first, I might draw out all of the roads first this time instead of just doing it bit by bit, because I'm saying I want to try and just fill out this area in today's video, and it's just going to be a bit of a grind, I reckon. But we can give it a go. So what I might do is, I'm trying to think whether we connect this up anywhere or we just put a single road alongside here and don't have a connection between the two. I don't think we should, because then the traffic won't use the highway entrance, which is going to flow a lot better than using downtown roads. So what we'll do is we'll start drawing out a few normal sort of roads from already created junctions like this one. And just start placing them out, and then we can kind of get a plan together of how our grid is potentially going to look in the end. So I might bring that one all the way out to here, just like that. And I actually want this road to be really annoying and run alongside that train line. Just have a quick look. Yes. Yes, I want that. I want that to be really annoying for people that are driving so they can't get across. I'm going to put a couple of footpaths across though, just to make me feel a little bit better. But it is a bit rude, isn't it? I can't even lie, it is a bit rude. So we'll just add a few footpath connections, just so that there is some sort of connection, like that. So for people going to work or something like that, they can come across, which I think is probably reasonable for me to do. So we'll have that there, and then I might change this just to a slight curve, I think. We'll probably not a big curve, so we're just going to draw that road out there, delete this here, and then we'll whack a cheeky little curve right onto. Come on, there we go, just like that, just so it's not a dodgy angle. No, I think that's probably fine. Good. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit gritty, but also kind of not. I know that doesn't really make much sense. But I'm going to draw these roads out, and I'm not going to bore you with it. I'm just going to draw the roads, put them out, and then we'll think about how we're going to fill these gaps. So I've added some roads. I've got this little section here which I'm currently working on, which is going to be kind of like a park triangle using some of the new parks that were from the Bridges and Ports, because I haven't put any of them in yet. So I'm just kind of trying to work on something here. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to go for entirely just yet, but we're just going to have a little play around with it and kind of see or where the wind takes us, and hopefully it should take us somewhere good, somewhere that makes our park look right. I want to kind of have a little browse through and see if there's any smaller sort of parks or something like that that could potentially go in there. I think we've probably put in most of the new good ones. There are a few ones that have been released recently with the bikes update. Whether they fit our theme or not is probably a different question. Something like that might be cool, but it's a little bit too big, and I don't really think that kind of fits in that area. So we're just going to continue to have a little look through, kind of see if anything nice comes out of any of these. If it does, we'll use it, we'll put it in. I mean, that would connect up, but I don't really want a bouncy castle in the middle of downtown, not gonna lie. It's even a bit weird having a Ferris wheel, so you know, we'll keep browsing and see what happens. Okay, so one small park just in this kind of triangular section. Few trees, few paths, a lot of new parks here, as you can see. A few cyclists as well going crazy. People using the bike park. I didn't realise you could actually park in the bike park. I mean, that would make sense though, wouldn't it? Yeah, a couple of new things here as well. We've got some of these underground bike parking areas too, scattered around the park. The Ferris wheel, of course, which spins, awesome. And then just a few more little features around the way. Yeah, it looks cool. Plenty of bike parking here, so maybe we could encourage a little bit of cycling. But that just fills that gap in relatively nice. It's nice to have a bit of greenery within the city sort of area anyway, so that's good. And then we just need to kind of fill in the space around it. I'm actually going to upgrade all of this to cycle paths and just see how many people actually use them. I've added a few in between the buildings, but I might just go full on Green City cycle to work and just see what happens. We could end up with loads of cyclists, we could end up with none. But I'm just going to upgrade all of the roads to have dedicated cycle lanes and just, you know, see if it works, see what effects it has on me and my city. So that's the plan. I'm just going to upgrade all of these. It's a bit annoying that it gets rid of the trees. I understand that it replaces like the cycle lane is where the trees are. Not the trees, the grass, sorry. But, you know, come on. We could have switcherooed that a little bit. A little bit of trees and grass would be good. Maybe that's a road builder thing for the future. Oh my god, look! What are you doing out here, bro? What are you doing? Where are you going? Any ideas? Franklin Higgins is just cruising for a bruising out here. I don't know where he's off to. Probably just going to have a nice little bite to eat. It's quite nice having the cycle lanes. Although it doesn't really, we haven't really got the cycling facilities around here to be able to say, yeah, everybody cycle. Not really enough bike parking. It's just kind of this way only. What happened here? Did that happen when we were upgrading it? Surely we didn't do that on purpose. No chance. Oh well, I can stay like that for now because I'm just going to let that be. I'm not sure what I think of the cycle lanes. My ideal world, if I could start again and build a city that I want to build, I would have cycle and pedestrian paths basically everywhere. So I would probably... There is a double, isn't there? This one. Which is 1 block wide, and I'd just probably have these around the cities, near enough everywhere, away from the main roads, kind of tucked behind them all. Similar to what these are, but these would look obviously much nicer, and they would basically have designated, like the greenways that we've got, that actually you can walk all the way around the city without having to walk on the pavements and stuff like that. I'd have that, but a nice cycling route that would essentially go all the way through. I think that would be really nice to have in a city. But maybe for our next city, who knows? But just not for this one, because destroying and moving everything is going to be an absolute nightmare. But yeah, the next thing I'm going to go for... Look, all of them have gone a bit skew-if now that I've added the cycle lanes. Look at that junction. That definitely was not like that before. Why has that done that? It's just bizarre. That was just a normal road. Like that. And that's just... Probably because I've dragged it, so they're just clicking and it's all got a bit weird. Because that junction's no good for anyone. So let's just see if we can link that up to there and just link that up there. Might get rid of that bit. I mean, it's still not right, it's not perfect, but it is what it is. Those of you that watch my channel frequently will be pleased to know I've got a new mic ordered. So it should arrive in the next few days, and maybe future videos will have some better audio. Because I can't imagine the amount of people that click off my videos because the audio is absolute trash. So, you know, but I do this for fun. It's not my job. It's just something that I do in my spare time because I like the game and I like sharing with you what I'm doing. So, yeah, exciting times ahead. Never know. One day, if we do alright, we could make this my job, and I'd actually produce good videos and have time to do it. So you never know. Who knows? Don't let your dreams be dreams. Just do it. That's fine that way. We probably don't even need these cycle lanes as we've allocated all of this space here already. Like, as in, we've already upgraded all the roads with cycle paths. We probably literally don't need any of these, but I'm just going to do it anyway. Just to add them in. Why not? Why not? Ideally, we would want this to be a cycle lane as well. However, I don't think that's going to work. Even if we upgraded this to a double bubble, double whammy, but we can't even. Can't even. We can upgrade that. How wide is this then? Is this going to be the same sort of? No. Shame. Shame really. Right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to start out with a few service buildings in and around this area. Once we've got these service buildings down, we'll start placing some buildings. As you can see over there, I've lined up a few buildings that we could potentially use. So let's find some service buildings. So I might start to sound a bit like a broken record here, but I've placed down service buildings and I've gone through signature buildings and placed what we can place in certain areas. The problem that I have is we're just placing the same building. We've basically, essentially, in the city, we've run out of buildings. We're basically repeating the buildings but placing them in different areas, which is a bit sad. But it's frustrating me a little bit because I'd love to make this area nice and unique. And you can see that I've tried to add a few buildings that we haven't used yet, like this big hospital and this Dutch school and all that stuff. But when it comes down to it, when it comes down to crunch time, there is a lot of the same buildings and we're basically repeating ourselves, which is sad. But hopefully when Asset Editor allegedly comes out this year, before the new year, we might be able to get some new buildings, and if we can, we'll start just to either these are two options. We'll either come back to here, replace all of these buildings with some actual nice variety, maybe build some nice cool things, or just start a new city. Where we essentially just start again, but with loads of new assets, all the skyscraper DLC. Who knows? But yeah, that's just. I just thought I'd let you know that I'm trying to build, but it's not playing ball all the time, which is a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. I'm trying my best, and yeah, we'll just do what we can. So these are all signature buildings and service buildings. So now that we've got those down to fill in a lot of the gaps, we're going to start picking off some of these buildings and seeing what we can place down. So we'll start off with the higher, taller buildings, and we're going to find some basically smaller little slots that eventually fit in. So we want these to somewhat be able to fill in all of the gaps that we've got. We don't want too much craziness going on. We just want to try and place these where there's room, where we think it's suitable. So something like that. They're not too tall, they're not too horrendous, and they fill in the space. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. And then another example is we grab another one of these, and we'd find a nice slot for that. Autosave. Find a nice slot for that somewhere, maybe somewhere near the hospital so it doesn't look out of place potentially, or somewhere over in this corner maybe. What about this gap here? Fit in there, not without overlapping. So yeah, this is basically what it's about. We just got to find buildings, hopefully find somewhere that they fit in relatively okay, and then just kind of go from there really. You could even pop that there and then it kind of flows a little bit down to that. This was quite a cool building. I didn't even realise that we had this in the game, or at least I can't recall seeing it. So this would probably be quite a good one to have nearby the hotel, because it's the same sort of hotel hospital, same sort of era, same sort of kind of height as well, and it just looks quite cool. This is definitely less modern, this area, less modern, more kind of older style sort of buildings. The modern downtown centre is over there, and this is kind of like the old business district. Oh my gosh, no! Damn, someone working in here is getting fired, because that is bang out of order, Jeff. If I had my way, I'd be getting all those licenses and I'd be tearing them up in front of them, because that is dangerous. That's so dangerous. Anyway, sorry to be distracted. Let's find another building. That one looks about right. It's good sort of height. And then we just need to find some nice little slots somewhere for you to live. Oh, it's difficult. Just basically my life, I just go around not really picking anything and then just ended up dumping it somewhere. A lot of these commercial buildings we're going to have to repeat because there's quite simply just not enough assets in the game. So some of them may be repeated somewhere. But for the time being, I'll just hold on to that. Okay, another little progress update. As you can see, we have filled in quite a lot of the space. There's just this space on the left-hand side that we've got to go, but it certainly looks much more urban-y. There's a lot of density along here, some of it higher, some of it a little bit lower, but it certainly looks much better than it did before. And I was thinking how we're going to sit this next to the airport, but to be honest with you, it doesn't look too bad, especially if you're kind of looking at it from this side. It just looks like a big city, and then the airport's just there, and it doesn't look out of place, the airport, in my opinion. I think it's looking really decent. But yeah, it's pretty built up, pretty urban. Obviously there's traffic mayhem because we've just moved in about 1 million residents at one time, and once that dies down it should be alright. But I think that looks so much better now that we've added all of that in. We just need to fill in the gaps on this right hand side, then do a few touch-ups, and maybe that will actually look a bit like a city. We have a look. It certainly looks more city to me. Certainly looks more city to me. Quite dense, actually. Wow. Impressive. But assuming that we're not really trying to build any magnificent structures and stuff like that, we're just kind of going with the flow and placing buildings, I think that looks alright. I think that's not too bad of a job. But I'm going to try and do this area as well and see how we get on. Okay, so that gap on the left hand side is now filled in, as you can see from here. We've extended the road out towards the highway as well, just so it looks like we've filled out the space and we've got kind of a filled up city. But it's looking a lot better in my opinion. I think that looks much more city-like now that we've filled in that gap and drawn it right up close to that airport. I'm pretty happy with the way that it's looking. I think it looks pretty nice. The only thing that's bugging me is this section here. I would love to fill in this gap, but these railway lines are causing me some issues, which is a little bit annoying. I'm trying to figure out a way of, I mean, we could just dump them lower underground, because that's completely underground, isn't it? I wonder if we can just go all the way underground and then we can just fill in this space here. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll see what happens if we were to just properly chuck it underground and go from there. Okay, so that railway line has been suitably moved underneath the ground, as you can see, which means we could probably branch this road out, just have a little bit of space in this sort of area just to kind of fill in that gap, and then it'll feel kind of pretty full up and complete in my opinion. So let's just grab this corner that we've got here and just bring that round about there, and we're going to just kind of try to grid it off a little bit, just like that. We'll link you in at a nice 90-degree angle there, and we might even bring you across. Not like that though, because that is disgusting. Bring you across just about there, and then we need to bike lane all of this just for a bit of consistency, and we need to just fill in this little gap now. Nothing too crazy, but I think once we fill that in it will kind of complete this sort of area, I reckon. So let's look at some commercial buildings. see what we can come up with. That would be quite a good one to have on the corner. Nah. Let's just browse through and see what we get. Let's go with the big ones first. So let's filter that to some 6x6 and see what we can acquire. Don't want high density. Something like this sort of height will probably do. So something like that. Doesn't really matter too much what they look like. They're all just going to be kind of a nice big bunch together. Like that. We need a few that are going to sit along the back edge around here. Just like that. That one can go on the edge there. Then let's just grab one. That's suitable for a 6x6. You're now looking at 5x5s because we're reducing the space that we've got to fit buildings in. So let's grab one of those. Maybe even chuck a no, not a waterfront. No. Maybe whack that in there, just about. We're probably going to need that to go even smaller now to a 4x4 and start kind of trying to fill in these gaps now. Just the smaller, finer details. That'll be a 3x4 if we can fit a 3x4 in there. That'll be fantastic. And then what kind of gaps are we working with here? These are about the right sort of size. So if we grab 3x4 and just fill in some of these here, that'll probably be a 2x4. Probably go in there, no dramas. And then just a few buildings for here as well then. So we can probably get that a little bit wider and a little bit bigger like that. And we'll just, oh, that's a bit of an odd shape that nobody really likes. So 4x5, maybe a gas station there. Be a 5x5 here then, just like that. And I wonder if we could fit something just in there. Something like that. Good. I think that looks better now that we've filled out that gap. Looks a lot more busy and a lot more complete, if you ask me. Which we like to see. Yeah, that is so much larger and feels so much more like a city. Just annoys me though, as we expand I'm like, oh, I'll just fill out this bit, and then it'll just be a continuous cycle of, oh, I'll just fill out this, fill out this, fill out this. But I think as a whole that looks really good, if you ask me. Not sure what's going on here, but it looks like this taxi driver's drunk, and then all of the rest of these don't really know what they're doing. There's something clearly gone off with the pathfinding, because look at them all, they all just do this. Why are you doing this? You're reversing into the roundabout. How so very bizarre. I don't know what's going on there, but there looks like they're all going to do exactly the same thing, which is going to cause this to back up forever. But luckily for us, they're leaving, so we don't care about their welfare. But yeah, it's cool. No dramas at all. So, moving on then. Next, what shall we do? As in the next episode. So, obviously we filled this in, which looks pretty cool. City's coming along quite nicely, it's quite large now. Excuse me. We've got this area here. We've got this area here, which is a bit of a road choice. And then this area down here. I need ideas for what to build here. This probably makes sense to be residential, etc. And then down here as well, I'm not entirely sure what we build here just yet. But it is coming together quite nicely. And there we have it, our new / old addition to downtown. all finished. You know what, with the airport in the backdrop, it actually looks really nice, with all the full parking spaces. You can just catch a glimpse of that airport terminal as well. I'm excited and happy with the way that that looks. Not much traffic on the road still, which boggles me a little bit. Is that something to do with my game or what? Because there's just not many cars considering how large this place is. But nevertheless, this is cool. I'm happy with the downtown. We definitely feel a lot more full up now. Definitely feels more city vibes rather than just bonk some skyscrapers down and then there's nothing really around it. It's definitely helped out quite a bit. Let me know your thoughts if you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave a like, comment down below what you think, what we should do next, and subscribe. Why not? It's free, and then you can see all my videos. Helps me out massively. You can also hype the video or become a channel member. Thanks very much for watching. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Good night.